Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick one around version control for Node.js. I've seen this being kind of done in kind of right ways, in wrong ways, and in horrible ways. So I just wanted to make a quick video on basically how this works. For the writing code project, I will be committing things in a Git repository on a session by session basis, so we can so you can go back in time and see what the state of the code was, and then kind of like play it back afterwards, right? First things first, I'm going to initialize my Git repository, Git init, and then I'll basically create a new branch called I'll call it session 1 project setup. So git checkout -b session 1 project setup. That will check me out a new branch. Now, if I do a git status, it will tell me that I have to commit everything, right? And I don't actually have to commit, and I shouldn't commit everything. So to ignore things, let's create a quick git ignore file. So file.gitignore. And IntelliJ is being really helpful, but I will ignore that help for now. Ignore the help in git ignore. So I'll ignore that help for now, basically because I want to go through how this might work, even if you weren't using IntelliJ, right? So I don't need a couple of folders that are in here to be committed, right? Because .idea is my personal IntelliJ setup for the project. I don't need the IML file, which is also an IntelliJ file, and I don't need the Node modules, because these are compiled modules that Node has installed based on the dependencies specified in package.json. So you should never, never, never commit Node modules, because that will tie you down to the operating system that you develop the code on, because Node modules sometimes get compiled directly to the operating system, because if there are a couple of C modules that have been written, it will compile it down to your operating system, right? So if you're using Windows, those C modules will be compiled in a different way into a DLL or something like that. Or if you're using a Mac or if you're using Linux, it might be compiled differently based on the kernel or based on the operating system, right? So you never want to commit Node modules, because unless you exactly know that you will never be executing this code anywhere but the exact OS that on the server as well. So if you know exactly that because you wrote this code on Windows, you will be running it on a Windows server, I would never commit that. And even then, I would highly recommend that you don't do that, because things change, right? So while you're developing, you might think that you're going to be using Windows servers, but then you look at costs and you're like, well, okay, you know what? That's quite expensive. I don't really need that big of a server. I just need a very tiny server. Oh, I have a spare Raspberry Pi. Let me use that. And then that Pis are based on ARM architecture, so that's going to be different as well. So, and then if you try to run it, it won't work, because it's the wrong target OS. So never check Node modules. Just use your package.json, and then on the target OS, just do npm install, or as part of your CI, make a decision and say, okay, I'm now in the build phase on a Linux box, and I know for a fact I'll be deploying it on a Linux box as well, and then just do npm install, and then that's it, right? So just so in here we'll add .idea folder, we'll add Node modules, and we'll add the WC to-do list IML. Actually, let me just add all IML files, right? I don't know any IML file that's going to be that's not going to be IntelliJ based. So let me add that. Anything else? No, I think that's it. That looks perfect. So save that, and then if we go back to our Git thing here, Git status again, and that tells us a lot smaller list now. So previously it had the IML file in it, now it doesn't. Previously it had Node modules, now it doesn't. And previously it had .idea, and now it doesn't. Right, so that's perfect. That's what we want to commit. Now some people will tell you that also you shouldn't commit the bin directory, right? But that's based on a philosophy that bin directory contains binaries that are executables. But in Node, the bin directory contains the executable for Node. So it's a cross-platform executable written in JavaScript, so you don't need to worry about excluding that at all, right? So just a quick note. So we'll add that all. So we need to add all of them. So because this is the first commit, so git add -all, and it's added them all. Let me just quickly check the branch that I'm on. So git branch. Oh, did I not check it out? Oh, interesting. Let me just commit that. Branch minus A. Interesting. Git add commit. I'm not sure what's going on here, but hopefully it will sort itself out. Session 1 project setup. Perfect. And if I do git branch, session 1 project setup, I think it just confused itself really. Yeah, if I do git log here, you'll see the commit log, and we only have one commit on here. It's session 1 project setup. Perfect. This is good progress. So now we've got a Git repository for this as well. This is pretty cool. Let me quickly check out new branch. So git check out. Actually, I'll do that afterwards. I'll make sure that the next session goes into the session 2, and then whatever that is. Right. So, right. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.